In this session, you will learn what it takes to reinvent data management strategies that helps strengthen your digital to the core and accelerate adoption towards strengthening government resilience. This session will bring you valuable insights that solves mass data fragmentation and embrace deference in depth modernization. The session will kick off with opening remarks by Sheena Chin, the Managing Director of Cohesity ASEAN. Sheena will be joined by Loong, who is the Technical Director of Cohesity Malaysia. Loong is a passionate solutions consultant with more than 25 years of experience focusing on IT infrastructure design and solutioning. We are definitely very honored to have Cohesity as a Terabyte partner for this conference. And if you have any questions for Sheena and Loong, please post it in the chat box or in the comment section, and we will be addressing it with both of the speakers towards the end of the session. Sheena and Loong will be on air real soon, so keep your seats warm.
Thanks, MC. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us here today. Loong and myself, Sheena, are about to share our thoughts on redefining data management towards a resilient nation digital defense. First of all, congrats to Malaysia for the recent celebration of 64 years of nationhood. The country can definitely look back with pride on everything it has achieved. To be where it is today, there has to be an unwavering focus on technology. To sustain the current digital excellency, it is necessary for effective data management and resilience so that the nation can make even more advances in its abilities to aggregate, analyze data, and to derive actionable insights that positively impact many aspects of our daily life. However, organizations are just so challenged in implementing data management. So they are facing the complexities of mass data fragmentation, which occurs from having data held in disparate sources, silos, and multi-cloud environment, definitely challenging data privacy, governance, compliance, backup and recovery, and the protection as well as data security. So this often calls for a need for more security measures to protect the confidential integrity of data in the cloud, while taking into consideration data at rest, data in motion, and data in use. In other words, all aspects. And this is being made worse when organizations have to deal with complex data centers, infrastructures, and multiple applications, which only increase the data attacks surfaces for cyber criminals and definitely scale up complexities even further, resulting in detrimental impact to storage performance, efficiency, and worse cost, as in more and more organizations just have to spend more in order to upkeep and maintain. So to solve this complex problem is to view data management holistically by consolidating all secondary workloads and data services at web scale, one should really wish for a scale-up platform with a linearly pay-as-you-grow and always-on availability features and function. This approach is to eliminate the need for mass data migrations, and better still, if you could get rid of forklift upgrades. It enables organizations to maximize space, cost, operational efficiency by eliminating secondary storage silos, consolidate backups, files, objects, and testing and development, as well as analytics data. We hope to really see organizations clearing out from this data fragmentation and complexities while addressing the core data security and protection requirements so as to continue its digital transformation journey in a data safe manner. And this is truly fundamental to the nation's continuing status as a strong economic force. With that, I would like to introduce my colleague, Hong Loong, who is the Technical Director of Cohesity Malaysia, to share about the possibilities of redefining data management. Thank you. Over to you, Hong Loong.
Thank you, Sheena. Hi, I'm Kong Loong, a Technical Director of Cohesity Malaysia. I do want to quickly thank the Forehead team for hosting this event. It's great to be here and it's great to be out in front of the people again. Like Sheena mentioned, today's topic is how to redefine your data management. So I want to tell you something how to unlock the data resiliency for the digital nation. Let's look at a data explosion today. Every second, 6,000 tweets, 500 million tweets per day, 200 billion tweets per year. That's a lot of things to say inside the tweet, right? And look at the data content, video content itself. 720,000 hours of video is being recorded and posted into the cloud, YouTube. That's inclusive my daughter as a YouTuber. And we see everyone from the mobile itself generated 1.7. Everyone is taking video, everyone is taking camera, photo through their smartphone. And we also see a lot of data grow inside the IoT devices, things like in the video, edge-generated, machine-generated information. And last but not least, the increase of edge data has led to alternate transfer, things like the drawing, capturing landscaping, drawing, capturing the plant itself, the health, the security. So this actually generated a lot of data in today's world. And from IDC itself, today we are expecting 4th year from now, 2025, the data will grow as much as 175 zettabytes. And for many customers, the top priority is to simplify how to manage and scale their data. There's two schools of thought in here, right? One is pushing all the data to the cloud. Outsource it. So we have seen that public cloud be one of the top consideration for organizations in storing the volume of data growth. And it basically helped. They thought it will reduce the cost. But however, there's a side effect of the public cloud as well, that the compromise to many of not well understood because cloud is today is like a myth. Things like we do not have full visibility. Things like it might be cost more than what we invest in the on-prem. And the other school of thought is people scale an existing solution, whereby still trying to scale the existing legacy data management. But the challenge comes here when the data start growing. Thing is about how you protect your backup windows will never change, but the data has been grown. Can you scale on that? And the data location is difficulty also to identify. Compliance costs, challenges, IT budget string, and become a challenges. So bottom line, both of the solutions have a challenge for them to overcome. And Cohesity is here to help you to resolve all these problems. What we do, we radically simplify the data, enterprise data management. In the same time, we unlock the value of this data inside this management platform. So we have seen multiple challenges. So here is the problem where we're out to solve. A pattern we haven't seen in many organizations. data sprawl across many locations, perhaps something you can relate it to. Think about which over the time may have result in many different silos to perform basic data management function, such as backup, such as disaster recovery, find objects, services, and more. And if the data live in many of the silos, in this case, in the hybrid multi-cloud, right? So this lead to those problems of complexity, cost, and increase the risk. Furthermore, your infrastructure and your data end up will be fragmented, inefficient, and most of data is sitting in the dark, which IT today have no visibility at all. So we call this mass data fragmentation, and it's a real problem we are trying to solve. So to get there, we take a multi-cloud platform approach, which what we call Cohesity Helios. Helios provide a single point from which to manage your data, wherever it lives in your data center, live in the private cloud, at the edge of the location, or in one or more public cloud platform, or we can offer as a SaaS. So digging a bit deeper into Helios, the first inefficient problem we set out to solve was the backup itself. We consolidate multiple backup capability into a single simplified data management solution. Why, you might ask, why backup first? Well, because everyone need it. And also, it's a great way to collect enterprise data from which to extract the value. And we do not stop there. We do a lot more than just a backup. Cohesity also consolidate other data management workload like file and object, disaster recovery, test dev, and analytic, which help to consolidate into a single data management in the converged platform. So where we efficiently manage it all with a single pane of glass. Next, let's talk about ransomware protection. Cohesity go beyond the backup. We classify and govern the data at the source. We detect persistent or new threat faster, prevent future attack with this threat sandbox. We can guarantee safe recovery of data from an attack with the air-gap vault. Let's look at the nature of the ransomware itself, and we classify as a tree. Today, ransomware are there to encrypt your production data. Ransomware is there to destroy your backup data. We have seen that many ways in the enterprise customer today. And I believe ransomware evolve. They are coming to steal your data out from your organization. To prevent that, Cohesity to here to help you to restore from backup. When we help you to immute your backup data with an air gap isolation. And last but not least, we want to involve ourselves to integrate data security and governance to help you to protect, the data is being leaked out from your organization. So what we are moving forward is we believe data security and data government must converge. And we have to let you have a full visibility who have access to those sensitive information. How do you know whether your data is being leaked out? And where is your sensitive data sit on? Whether it's in the on-prem or whether it's in the cloud? And how do you prove compliances? So Cohesity have a very comprehensive ransomware recovery solution to help you to govern your data. We have built a framework covering identifying, protect, detect, respond, and recovery. Let's go through one by one. With Identifier, we provide global visibility across the entire environment throughout the multi-cloud. We give a security advice, cyber vulnerability scan. From protection point of view, immutable snapshot, immutable file system, encryption in flight and at rest, worm air-gap capability, and so forth. And from detection point of view, we help organizations build an AI through a machine learning capability, help to detect anomalies detection, and we give a deep visibility on which is the affected object, which is the hacker target information, and we have the real-time, we give a real-time notification and alert. And from a response point of view, we want you to help you to respond fast enough, giving you a fast forensics result, a machine learning capability to help you to identify, build a reporting, auditing, and granular, build you a plan for you to recover. And when it comes to recovery point of view, we want you to have the business up immediately. We have a track record to up 2,200 VM within 47 minutes. So take some example of a success story from our customer. Okay, Skylake Medical Hospital avoid paying ransomware. Skylake Hospital come to Cohesity, adopt Cohesity technology to help them to preserve all their intellectual property, which is the PAC system, helping them to reduce the TCO. In the same time, helping them to overcome the challenges like data protection. As data is grow, their legacy backup system itself can't even complete the backup within the backup windows. So that's why they need to evolve. They're looking at Cohesity to store all the intellectual property, so they avoid all the forklift, avoid the future data migration to drive the cost down. In the same time, data protection, ransomware come in so handy because Skylake Hospital was attacked by the ransomware and 6,000 of their compute is being impacted. And Cohesity is there to help them to recover fast and to help them to save times and resources to recover the entire environment from the ransomware attack. And what Cohesity address with the data government moving forward? From the privacy point of view, so we built in a data classification to detect the PDPA, PII from the GDPR, CCPA compliance need. We built in a security feature from the security access control, encrypt in flight, integrate with a firewall, password detection, password policy, physical security itself. And from the quality and ethic point of view, working with some of the ISP, we can deliver data profiling, cleansing, and data masking services inside the same platform. From the residency point of view, we are working with a company for doing data discovery, metadata management, and data lineage. And Cohesity today to provide data protection services to help you for your data retention, meeting your SLA, RTO, RPO, with the CDP technology, DR failover, and data tiering capability. And last but not least, from the data availability point of view, Cohesity is a platform to give you high availability. In the same time, we are there to provide data protection services and consistently access to all this data with the data governance. So give you some idea about, we have submitted Cohesity infrastructure and tests throughout the Malaysia common criteria, and in return, MICC have actually certified and recognized and assured that this is a secure platform for you to store your data and for you to manage your data. So what's the differentiator for Cohesity? Okay, we are the best in the class of cyber response, helping reduce the business risk, helping to control the impact of radius, helping to gain more visibility. We have a global searching capability and give a visibility for you, and ensure the rapid incident response. I have a customer share with me. Have a visibility, have immutable is not good enough for the business. We want to make sure that the data management platform itself have helped me to resume my business as fast as possible. And we want to bring up or resume the business with a good quality of the data, preventing further downtime in terms of reducing the downtime and any of the data loss. Okay. Last but not least, data has been qualified, has been in compliance, has been in quality. We want to make sure that you meet the compliance throughout all these industry standard like FIPS, AES, so PCI DSS, PDPA, and SOX, and so far so on. So let me introduce us Cohesity. One of the function of Cohesity is through the smart file offering. The source of the data are multiplying rapidly. On a daily basis, our customers are asking us to help them to manage and monetize their data. The data could be file and object. The data could be a machine-generated data, or it could be a backup data. It could be a healthcare data, and multiple data, unstructured data sitting here. And customers have challenged how to protect the data, how to govern the data, how to make sure the data for the long term, how to make sure that we are not treating data as a duck. So they want the harvest of this data to come up with more data business insight to improve their services. So smart file can be there to use across a broad range of horizontal use cases. As a new workload are consolidated, the value of your data increase because a new correlation can be made. And unique insight can be extracted and redefined over time to give you a competitive edge. Think about that. Cohesity is the platform for you to consolidate all unstructured data, irregardless whether it is a content standard file, whether it's a mega file, we call it a multimedia file, video surveillance, or millions of small files you use it from your security logs or any of the digital archive. Cohesity is a single platform that to help you to preserve that. Okay, and the support use case has vertically applicability across a wide range of industry. Think about law firm, state, local government, life science and medical research, FSI, and healthcare. Like I say, multiple use cases can be applied to a single platform as a file and object, sync and share, CCTV content, Splunk integration, and backup. Use case number one, we have worked with one of the major banks in Malaysia, helping them to transform to support their 50,000 employee mapped with the Cohesity smart file services to supply a file repository for their home directory, corporate share, and a VDI mapping drive. Okay, we're helping them to migrate from the legacy NAS environment to Cohesity, helping them to improve the cost, helping them to improve the dedupe and compress ratio up to the 2.6x. And we are not stopping that. We are leveraging the same platform. We're going to use it for other use cases like backup, archive, and Splunk target moving forward. Use case number two, we're helping one of the telco in Thailand to help them to consolidate, to help them to preserve all their core records in a single repository, providing as an object storage. Use case number three, we're helping in the India Smart City project with a joint venture with a Cisco and Milestone, right? Certified over 5 petabytes of data now today are storing in the Cohesity data platform. Use case number four, Splunk repository integration. As today, everyone is moving to the AI. Everyone has a Splunk in their organization to do analysis. Cohesity is there to help to integrate, to store all the warm frozen data in a more economical, affordable data platform to help to reduce the TCO. And just give you a pane of glass of what Cohesity can be addressed as a next generation data management. Use cases like data protection of your existing hypervisor databases, even the more modern workload like Kubernetes, NoSQL, MongoDB, MySQL, SaaS application like M365, Azure, site continuity, data failover, and mainframe and iSeries data protection, all classified as Cohesity offer as it's called Data Protect. And for home directory, target storage, archive, large data set to be preserved, object storage, we classify this as a smart file offering. And for those workload file content living in the cloud, data management as a service, native cloud, M365, cloud spin. We even can help you to spin the workload inside the cloud by fail over to the cloud. And we classify as a cloud offering. But last but not least, to even further unlock the value of your data itself, we start seamlessly integrating with all the cyber security like ransomware detection, test theft use cases, data masking use cases, and further improve it with a more security feature, things like antivirus, uh, vulnerability scan of the OS itself. All this can be seamlessly integrated with this Cohesity platform. So we are truly a next generation data management platform to cover the entire data lake. And Cohesity is really a future-proof single solution, helping organizations to reduce the cost, optimize the efficiency, increase productivity, in the same time mitigate all the cybersecurity risks. And we want to be a future-proof platform to improve, to basically to protect your investment, and last but not least, to meet all the compliance. And in the future, as you adopt more data management workload, those advantages will just only grow leveraging on this platform. So I end my presentation here, and we will open up for some discussion FAQ moving forward.
Very good.
Yep.
Thanks for having us again.
No, we're always glad to have you. I think Cohesity was here in our previous one of our previous conferences as well. So it's nice to have you back. And I think the audience agrees because we do have a few questions for you. Are you guys ready to address them?
Anytime.
Okay.
All right, let's do this. Okay, so the first question is, have you seen significant change in how business managing data since COVID-19? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Have you seen significant change in how business managing in how businesses manage data since the COVID-19 pandemic hit? This is by KP Ramesh from WebEx. Thanks, KP Ramesh.
Thanks for the question. It's a good one. So in the last maybe 2 years now, with COVID and the pandemic, and now we are entering a new phase, as in everybody just have to live with it now. I think we are really seeing some changes because if you look at how things are really ramping up, the organizations do not have the luxury now to just stay status quo. One common thing is, most of the people now are working from home. So connectivity becomes very, very key now. And with that, there's a lot more opportunities for the malicious attackers to really launch their cyber attacks. So all the more security become a top priority in most organizations. So it is really on the topmost agenda in most organizations now to really make sure that data protection is key and to be prepared to proactively protect their data and to also be very resilient to make sure they always maintain a very strong last line of defense as well. So I think that's very key. That's just security is definitely on top. The second change that I'm seeing is that IT spending, as an IT budget, is also being put on a strain now. I think I see many businesses, many organizations are coming back to us to say that they no longer have the huge budget, or rather, if their budget stays the same, but they have to spend much more, especially in the area of security. What should they do? So I think that there's this need now to really streamline their operations to drive efficiencies so that one can no longer just continue to pay as per what they used to pay just because their data volume scale, their budget does not scale. So they need to get smart to get more efficient to really manage their IT operations.
Yes, thank you so much for that. I think in terms of the first, I think it's great that companies are amping up security. As a consumer, I think I would also feel very, very, happy about that. And in terms of the second one, if there's any managers watching, maybe you guys can increase the IT budget. Jokes. Thank you so much, Sheena, for
Yeah,
that
I want
answer. We
to
have the,
I want
yes,
to add
sorry,
on
Lau,
something.
yes.
Yeah,
What do
I
you
want to
think?
add on something to what Sheena, what I seen during the pandemic's time, because everyone is working from home. Now we're seeing that some of the legacy built technology doesn't cater for working from home. Things of like data share now, people have to work from home. With the infrastructure that's set in Malaysia, right? We might be a bit late. People are still using 4G and 3G at home. That doesn't really can get a way to reach to the data they can process, they can service. So Cohesity here is to come in to help them to transform, throw away those, modernize those legacy infrastructure to a modern infrastructure so they can share the data, protect the data, and they can easily manage the data throughout this modern hybrid cloud environment.
Thank you so much for that, Lo. That's a really good perspective as well. And I think we've talked a lot as well about internet connectivity and, you know, and speed as well. Thank you for that. We have two more questions, if I'm not mistaken. So the next one, the next question is from Shama Muhammad on WebEx. Yes, thank you so much, Shama. And also thank you to WebEx for being so active. Okay, so the question is for the ministry and agencies, how do you solve the issue pertaining to the PDPA in data sharing, since that's usually the main issue? Also, there is also no NDA between ministries and the agencies. So whoever would like to answer this.
I can take this first. So
wonderful.
thanks, Shama. I think that's a fantastic question. So PDPA or even the GDPR, coming from Europe's side, is getting more and more intense, and again, because of most of us operating from home, whether is it for work or for shopping or for any other transactions, is becoming more apparent. We really need to pay attention to it. So it is important that businesses out there really set their data infrastructure and architecture well, such that there is proper visibility to what data is being managed, is being stored, is being protected. So I'm sure most of us have heard of the term, the ROT, which stands for redundant, obsolete, and trivial. It's easy to label our data with these terminologies, but do we know what they are, where they are being stored, how old are they, who owns them, who has access to them, before we start applying our internal corporate policies to properly secure them, manage them, and handle them. So just to get ourselves ready to be able to have such visibility, to be able to apply the right controls appropriately, I think this is one big step that I am seeing many organizations are still struggling with. So there are technologies out there, of course, Cohesity is one of them, that has the ability to really provide clarity and the fundamentals to enable one to have such visibility and to be able to search and get access to them easily as well. So in a way, it is hopeful out there. There are really technologies to help to address that. So do look out for it.
Thank you so much, Sheena. I've learned a lot. I did not know what ROT was before today. Lo, what about you? Do you have anything to add to the question?
Yeah, just to echo and to extend what Sheena, what we can offer. Beside PII, PDPA, actually we can help customer to do data classified based on compliance, based on PII, based on SOX, based on common criteria. We do have capability to help customer to really identify, understood their data stored in where, which is sensitive data, classified them, align with the compliance. I think this will bring customer data to the next level, so they have more visibility, so they can carry out the data management even better.
Yes, thank you so much. I think that's also another aspect of it, to know what to do as well is very important.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. We have two more questions. Yes, thank you, audience members. Okay, so the next question is from VJK from WebEx. To Kong Loong. How seamless is your integration with legacy system, and what is the timeline taken to do so? Yes, take it away.
Okay, sounds like a lot of audience like our technology. I won't mind to share some of the experience that how we assist some of the enterprise customer to walk through this journey. And for starting, we do set up a lot of series of workshop together with customer to actually outline what's the objective and outline what they want to achieve at the end, associated with the cost, associated with the data policy governance. And so the timelines taken for the start, we might take some time, like 1 or 2 weeks just to get through everyone in the same page. Then after that, the deployment stage is pretty fast. I think less than 1 or 2 weeks, we can get it done seamlessly integrated to their existing environment, and we start doing optimization to improve it. So I think end up the result is we are keep monitoring system, keep improving. That's the way that's approach, and then in the same time that while we're learning that business, learning that data management, we help to giving some new idea how to improve it with the various of suggestion. With that timeline, I will say is around 3 to 6 months to get customer to really go to the stage of stable, and then and really show the effect and really show the business result at that point. 3 to 6 months. That's what I'm seeing.
Thank you, Lo. 3 to 6 months sounds like a long time, but I think considering the general outlines of how hard it is to integrate systems, like I know there are places that take like a year or 2 years until the system is fully stable and functional, which is a lot of cost for the business. So it's quite impressive. The timeline in which you guys are getting it done. That's awesome. Sheena, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so there are also approaches whereby organizations, as long as they have the ability to understand what data they have to handle, so they can also start to perform some tiering, and then they can start to run their data management in parallel. So, as long as their business operations is not affected, they can still get the essential data out to meet their business requirements. These things can be managed in parallel so that they don't have to be fully migrating from one old system to another. So that is also one of the more common approaches. And apart from, speaking of integration, right, I think apart from integrating or migrating from existing legacy systems, if we look at the larger enterprises requirements, there's also important need out there, which is to be able to be interoperable with the existing application tools. So which is why I think it's also important when one is looking into modern solution or a new gen solution, make sure it is something that comes with open API, so that it helps the provision of additional applications that is essential to support the function of data management. Right. So in a way, if I use Cohesity as an example, we run on that concept so that we facilitate the addition of compute to data in a much more convenient fashion. So that will really help to future-proof in terms of the overall IT investment.
Thank you so much, Sheena. I think thank you so much for the tips on number 2, but also for number 1. It reminds me of the opportunity that you get when you change your closet, when you move houses, and you prioritize what data you want, what stuff that you want, and in order to migrate. So yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for pointing that out. We have one last question. And this is from, let's see, from Faiza from WebEx. Hi, Faiza. Thank you so much. And the question is, what if backup data itself was also infected with ransomware silently? So I think, Kung Long, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, can, no problem. I think Faiza, you pointed out this is all our customer enterprise, especially enterprise or SMB, even some of the government party actually come to us telling us that this is the actual real problem they're having in their environment today. The backup is being locked by the ransomware. We have seen that a lot. So to overcome this, Cohesity has a lot of new technology being embraced in our data management platform, like immutable file system, air gaps. That's to address people to actually tamper to your data, to your backup data. That's how we overcome that. On top of that, under immutable file system is one of the features to govern, but the business itself is talking about RTO. How soon can you resume my business if such disaster happen? We have a way to actually plant the AI in to help you to identify which is infected by the ransomware data, and we build you a plan using the machine learning, help you to build, help you to bring up your services in the minutes. That's what every business are looking for. How fast can I resume my business if I hit to the disaster? Yeah. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Kao Long. Sheena, would you have anything to add? Or we could also move on to another question very quickly.
I think just a pointer here. I think what we are saying is make sure your insurance work for you, and not just that. During the time when your insurance policy, as in your data management plan, is on an idle mode, make sure it can also serve other purposes for you. So that's what we do. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Sheena. Just quickly, we have one last question before time runs out. And this is from Nurul Ain Abdullah from LinkedIn. Yes, that come through LinkedIn. All right, sorry. So the question is, does data management services require much cost? And how to ensure the safety of data from various ransomware or cyber attacks? So it's open floor, whoever wants to answer.
Maybe I can take this first. Colin, you can jump in later. So yes, I think if you were to, I mean, just based on general survey, right, from my conversations out there, many organizations are actually getting more serious to really do something right to manage their data. And there are always different schools of thoughts, right? So some obviously probably have been having these thoughts that, okay, I have been having my systems for 10 years, 20 years now. Should I just continue to maintain that system? I just have to tighten things here and there. That was usually one of their plans. But as they go forward and start to compute how much they have to spend, and then they realize that, hey, this can't scale. Not just in terms of the IT spending, in terms of budget, but in terms of the manageability, because it's already quite complex in terms of the formation of all these old systems. But to continue with that, it can really get a lot more costly. So in the essence, that could be more costly to the point that was being asked in the question. So therefore, now as we engage with the enterprises out there, we see many who are really seriously conducting feasibility studies to look at how they can simplify, how they can modernize, so that whatever system that they intend to maintain or to set up or to transform can really last them for a much longer lifetime, or lifetime if possible, but if not, something that has to be more future proofing. So it need not be a lot more expensive, because it's not just the spending in terms of a technology, but one should really look at TCO, how it can also help to reduce man hours, reduce complication, which indirectly reduce your risk and help to achieve better compliance.
All right, thank you so much, Sheena. So I think Konglung, Konglung, you have something to add to that, right?
Yeah, just a little bit echo. Just telling you the result that we're working with some of the enterprise, telco, even the bank. So with our new data management the first thing we help them to reduce cost is the data center footprint. Almost like cutting more than 50%, based on their previous data services they offer. That's a great result that we're helping people to cut down the carbon footprint, the electricity utilization, and then those are the hidden costs that sometimes the organization might avoid. So Cohesity really come in to address, like what Sheena mentioned, we reduce the up to 70% in terms of TCO for most of our customers who embrace our technology.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Keeping it sustainable here. All right, Konglung, Sheena, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming back. We always love having you here. Before we go and move on to the next section, would you like to say any last words?
Keep things simple, modernize as much as possible, but most of all, stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, stay safe. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this event.
All right, thank you, and see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.